Did you know that skipping a single meal can accelerate the loss of strength in your legs by 10 years? Have you ever felt your legs heavy when getting out of bed, had night cramps, or feared stumbling on a step? This might not be just age. It could be your body screaming for help. What you eat or fail to eat in the early morning hours could be destroying your muscles, and no one has told you this yet. Before we begin, comment below where you are watching us from. Your city or country. I want to know how far this message will travel. And of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell now, because what you are about to discover today could change your health forever. Stay until the end, because I will reveal the 5 foods that save your legs from weakening, and the 5 habits that keep you firm, stable, and independent for many years. Few people know it, but upon opening their eyes in the morning, the elderly body enters a decisive moment. It's as if we are facing a silent crossroad. Either we offer the right fuel, or the body begins to feed on itself. And guess what it consumes first? The muscles, especially those in the legs, which sustain our independence. This is a little-told truth, but one with an enormous impact on longevity. During my consultations, I frequently hear, "Doctor, I just have a little coffee and get on with my day." And I always respond carefully. That solitary black coffee may be shortening your autonomy. When we skip breakfast, we open the way for sarcopenia to act sneakily. Healthy aging requires intentional choices, especially upon waking. The catabolic phase, that silent state of alert that begins as soon as we wake up, consumes what we hold most precious, our strength. Imagine an elderly person who doesn't eat breakfast and later slips while boarding the bus. It's not bad luck. It's the consequence of lifestyle habits that slowly weaken them. The good news? This is totally preventable with a simple change in routine. Instead of skipping this meal, think of it as your first dose of daily resilience. A combination of proteins, minerals, and energy early on is more effective than any supplement bought at the pharmacy. The secret to health in old age is not in magic formulas, but in small morning rituals. Disease prevention starts with what we put on the plate before 8 in the morning. There's a critical moment in the human body that almost no one realizes. It happens every morning, in the silence of waking up. After long hours of sleep without nutrient replenishment, the body enters a catabolic mode. And what does that mean in practice? That it starts looking for energy within itself. And the first place it finds it is in the muscles of the legs. This catabolic phase is treacherous because it doesn't give immediate signs. But its effects accumulate like erosion on a rock. Little by little, the legs lose firmness, balance wavers, and falls become more frequent. Many think it's just age arriving, but that's only part of the story. The truth is, we are leaving the body without the tools to rebuild itself. Longevity is not just about living longer, but about living better, with the freedom to come and go. When the body starts consuming its own muscle reserves, it enters a structural deficit, and this translates into practical difficulties like getting out of bed, reaching high objects, or climbing stairs. Well-being starts to crumble where we least expect it, in the legs. That's why I often say in the office, if you don't feed yourself, your body feeds on you. And that is exactly what happens in this silent phase. Health in old age depends on our ability to break this cycle every morning, with nutritious and conscious choices. What you put on your plate when you wake up could be what keeps you on your feet for many years. You know those habits that seem harmless but slowly corrode your health like an invisible leak? Well, among the biggest saboteurs of muscle strength in old age are 3 errors that are repeated every morning. The first is the most common, simply not eating breakfast. It seems trivial, but for an aging body, this is like starting the day at a disadvantage. The second error is starting the day with just a black coffee or a dry white bread with no nutritional value. This is not breakfast. It is an emotional placebo that tricks the body and worsens the problem. Coffee raises cortisol, bread quickly turns into sugar, and guess what? None of this feeds your muscles. On the contrary, it favors the loss of lean mass and increases the risk factors for falls. The third error is more subtle, avoiding protein-rich foods for fear of cholesterol or attachment to old myths. "Oh, doctor, I don't eat eggs because they are bad for the heart." How many times have I heard that? But science has evolved. Today, we know that the absence of protein in the first meal is directly linked to sarcopenia and the premature aging of muscles. These lifestyle habits, skipping meals, eating what doesn't nourish, and fearing what strengthens, create a fertile ground for fragility. Every morning, when we repeat these errors, we take another step towards the loss of autonomy. But don't blame yourself. The important thing is to recognize and change. And the next step begins with a revelation that few know, but that can transform everything. Would you be surprised if I told you that it is possible to recover muscle strength without a gym, without expensive supplements, and without exhaustive exercises? Well, that is exactly what researchers at Tufts University discovered. In just 8 weeks, elderly people who consumed 20 grams of protein right upon waking up recovered up to 35% of their lost strength. It's like reversing almost a decade of muscle aging with a simple breakfast. This study, published in the Journal of Gerontology, changed the way I guide patients. Instead of suggesting miraculous formulas, I started teaching what I call conscious morning anabolism. And it works. You just need to understand what the body needs in the first hours of the day: high-quality protein, clean energy, and minerals that support balance and muscle regeneration. Imagine the impact of this on health in old age. An elderly person who today depends on a cane, in 2 months can walk alone. And it all starts with a spoon of Greek yogurt, a boiled egg, or a handful of oatmeal with chia seeds. It seems little, I know, but the body understands this nutrition as a clear sign of reconstruction. It's like giving new brick to a wall that was cracking. Healthy aging does not come from great revolutions, but from small decisions repeated every day. And breakfast is the most strategic of them. What you put on your plate up to an hour after waking up could be the key to maintaining your mobility, well-being, and resilience. And if you still doubt it, just wait until you hear the real story of a man who turned this game around with his own hands. David was 69 when he realized something was wrong. His legs seemed to be carrying sandbags every morning. The night chills became frequent visitors, and the fear of falling made him walk as if treading on eggshells. The vitality that once pulsed in his steps had vanished, and he barely noticed why. It was when a trivial fall, while fetching the newspaper, sparked a deep alarm within him. Even after tests that showed nothing, David felt his body screaming for help. His wife noticed his slowness, his stumbles, his reliance on furniture and walls for support. But the answer was not in medication, nor in conventional recipes. It was on the plate. One night, he watched a video about the loss of strength due to morning malnutrition, and one phrase struck him. "Your legs don't age, they just stop being fed." The next day, he decided to change. He replaced the old black coffee with 2 boiled eggs, a banana, and a slice of whole wheat bread. In the first few days, nothing changed. But, in the second week, his steps became firmer. The chills disappeared. In the third, his wife said, "You are walking like before." That was more powerful than any medicine. It was a compliment that reignited his hope. Today, at 70, David walks 2 kilometers a day without support. Not by miracle, but by consistency. He learned that the secret to health in old age lies in the details, in the choices we repeat without thinking. Every morning, when cracking an egg in the frying pan, he tells himself, "This is a vote of confidence in my own body." And it is this practical faith that keeps him moving even today. Sarcopenia is a word few know, but it silently affects millions of people over 60. It is the gradual and progressive loss of muscle mass and strength, as if the body were emptying its structure from within. The most dangerous part? It doesn't hurt. That's why it's so ignored, until getting out of a chair becomes a real challenge. Among the main triggers of sarcopenia are prolonged fasting upon waking, low protein intake, and an inflammatory diet full of sugars and ultra-processed products. These risk factors, when combined, create the ideal scenario for the loss of strength. And the worst, the body adapts to the weakening as if it were something natural. But it is not inevitable. It is correctable. I always tell my patients, healthy aging begins on the plate and at the right time. It's no use walking every day if the body is in internal destruction mode. Eating correctly upon waking is like laying the first bricks of daily reconstruction. An omelet, a spoonful of yogurt, a potassium-rich fruit, small decisions with deep impact. Longevity, well-being, and resilience are directly linked to how we treat our muscles. And this begins with the first ray of sunshine. The good news is that, contrary to what many think, it is possible to reverse this condition. But for that, you need to know what to nourish the body with. And, as we will see next, there are simple foods that hide powerful secrets to reactivate your legs and balance. You don't need to look far for what can save your legs from weakness. Some of the most potent foods for healthy aging are already in your kitchen, and all that's missing is knowing how to use them. We start with the champion of breakfasts, the whole egg. Rich in leucine, vitamin B12, iron, and complete protein, it is a true natural patch for worn-out muscles. The second hero on this list is the oatmeal with chia seeds duo. Oatmeal, with its beta-glucan fiber, reduces inflammation and provides satiety, while chia offers magnesium, calcium, omega-3, and potassium, everything a muscle needs to contract and relax without cramps. I have already advised many patients to start the day with 3 tablespoons of oatmeal, 1 of chia, and slices of banana. The results appear in weeks, firmer legs, and a lighter body. And speaking of bananas, they are the third essential item. Naturally rich in potassium and vitamin B6, they are almost like a muscle electrician, restoring communication between the brain and body, and preventing spasms and falls. When consumed at the right time, like after the main breakfast, it helps stabilize glucose and strengthen circulation, something crucial for those seeking well-being and disease prevention. Rounding out the list, we have 2 powerful reinforcements: natural Greek yogurt and salmon with sweet potato. Yogurt slowly releases protein throughout the night and also brings probiotics that regulate nutrient absorption. Salmon, when accompanied by sweet potato and a pinch of mineral salt, recharges the body with omega-3, clean energy, and essential minerals for muscle resilience. Together, these foods form a natural shield against sarcopenia. There is a window of time right after waking up that is decisive for your muscle strength. The first 60 minutes of the morning are like a biological portal. Either you feed your muscles what they need, or the body enters internal consumption mode. Few know it, but it is at this exact moment that the body is most receptive to proteins and minerals. It's as if it says, "Now is the time. Feed me, or I'll have to sustain myself with what's left." The secret lies in activating the anabolic mode, the opposite of the muscle destruction state. With a balanced breakfast, 2 eggs, a tablespoon of oatmeal, and a fruit, the body understands that it can start the day regenerating. This is the magic of longevity, acting at the right time. That's why, in the office, I always insist that the elderly eat something nutritious even before checking their cell phone or leaving the house. Many wait too long, believing they can skip this part and compensate later. But the delay prolongs the catabolic phase and increases the risk factors for loss of lean mass, energy drop, and imbalance. It's like delaying a construction project and expecting the building to support itself. The body has its own logic, and it does not forgive daily neglect. When you start respecting this golden window of awakening, everything changes. Morning fatigue decreases, mood improves, and the legs seem to gain new life. It's a simple change, but it requires commitment. And by adopting this habit, you start building a new pattern of health, one that prioritizes disease prevention and body stability. But there is one more essential element. What you do before and after eating can also potentiate all of this. It's not enough just to eat well upon waking. You need to prepare the body to absorb everything it needs. And this begins with a simple gesture: drinking a glass of warm water with a pinch of sea salt or Himalayan salt. This small ritual helps rehydrate the body, replaces minerals lost during the night, and activates circulation. It's almost like starting an old engine. Without this step, it doesn't run properly. The second habit is one of my favorites as a geriatrician: 3 minutes of balance exercises. Yes, just 3 minutes. Just lift one leg, hold for a few seconds, alternate, stand on your tiptoes. It seems silly, but these simple movements activate the stabilizing muscles and drastically reduce the risk of falls. And the best part? They can be done in the bathroom while brushing your teeth. Third, never get out of bed abruptly. It seems like a detail, but this can prevent dizziness, stumbling, and even fainting. When you open your eyes, take a deep breath, move your feet, rotate your wrists, stretch your neck. This sends a message to the nervous system. We are ready for the day. This small habit, combined with the others, builds a ritual of well-being and healthy aging with a cumulative effect. Finally, take 5 minutes of sun in the morning and never ever postpone breakfast. Sunlight stimulates the production of vitamin D, essential for bones and muscles. And the longer you wait to eat, the more the body self-destructs. These habits together are like the invisible bricks that sustain your autonomy. And now that you have the bases, one reminder remains. Why does all this matter so much? The legs have always been there, from the first steps to the most important hugs in life. They are what take us where the heart wants to go, even when age tries to slow the body down. When we feed our legs, we are cultivating something greater, our independence. It's not just about muscles, it's about freedom, autonomy, and dignity. I see many patients who resign themselves to the loss of strength as if it were destiny. But it is not. Science proves that the body has an incredible capacity for regeneration, even after 60, 70, or 80 years old. The secret lies in constancy, in the daily choice to treat the body with the respect it deserves. Longevity is not luck, it is construction. Strengthening the legs is like investing in a future with fewer limitations and more possibilities. After all, a walk without pain, a firm step on the sidewalk, or a standing hug are worth much more than one imagines. Disease prevention starts in the muscles, and preserving health in old age is a gift we give ourselves, every day. So the next time you have the fork in your hand, remember, this is not just food, it is resilience fuel. It's a chance to tell your body, I still count on you. And if all this has touched you in some way, stay with me. There is much more to discover. Because the journey of healthy aging doesn't end here. It is just beginning. Now tell me, were you already making any of these mistakes in the morning without knowing? Write here in the comments. I want to hear your story or your opinion. And if this content helped you, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications now. That way you won't miss any of the next videos with guidance that can transform your health and your life. The next recommended video is already appearing on your screen. Click on it and continue learning with me. There is much more knowledge waiting for you. Thank you for the company and see you in the next encounter. Take good care of yourself and take care of your legs. They are your foundation, your freedom, and your history in motion.